Alrighty guys, we're back for War Rats, and this is an Outlaws with Thunder Junction standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a suggestion down in the comments, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. It was to play Warleader's Call with Tangled Colony, so that's what we're gonna do today. We got all four of each of those packed in. Tangled Colony is a 2-mana 3/2, it can't block. When it dies, create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens with this creature can't block, where X is the amount of damage dealt to Tangled Colony this turn. Very interesting. So when pairing this with Warleader's Call, it's a 3-mana enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+1, of course, and then whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Warleader's Call deals 1 damage to each opponent. Nice. In a deck like this, we do have a good chunk of board wipes packed in, like all 3 Brotherhoods End. And then there's going to be moments where this is kind of sort of like a one-sided board wipe, especially if you have like a couple Tangled Colonies on the board or something crazy, right? Essentially, it deals 3 damage to the colony. Hopefully, you wipe the opponent's board, and then you get 3 rats back from the colony. It's going to be a similar concept with Burn Down the House, too. However, if you're not dropping the 5 damage to each creature and Planeswalker, you could also just drop the Devils, which fits like the whole go wide theme going in here. There's other ways to go wide outside of the colony, like Lord Skitter Sewer King, also fitting that rat theme. We also have this Totentanz, something like that, a Swarm Piper here. It's a 3-mana 2/3 that I don't think I've ever seen anyone play before. I'm not 100% certain on that, though. It's a legendary creature. And then when Swarm Piper or another non-token creature you control dies, you create a 1/1 black rat creature token with, of course, this creature can't block. And then it also has a bottom ability too for 1 and a black. Target attacking rat you control gains death touch until end of turn. I don't know how often that's going to come in handy, but hey, I guess you never know, right? There's a reason there's only one of these in here, but it'll be interesting to see. To have other powerful creatures packed in, like Elas il-Kor. That's going to do a thing when a creature enters the battlefield under our control. Of course, we gain 1 life. Whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. It's like another reason to not be too sad if you end up wiping your wide board state with like a Brotherhood's End or something. And then the front of the build here, we got this Nezumi Linkbreaker. This is a new one. It's a 1-mana 1/1. It is a rat warlock, and when it dies, you get a 1/1 red mercenary creature. Yeah, not half bad. Now the mercenary has tap. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. I like these little mercenaries. They're neat. We also have this Spearguard as well. So this is a 1-mana 1/1 with haste. And when it dies, you create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block, of course. And then we also have Okiba Reckoner Raid here, eventually flipping into that road captain. Just another rat. And I wanted something else here on the front of the build. And this also kind of sort of evades your board wipes. If you end up playing an Okiba Reckoner Raid and it's chills on the side as an enchantment for the first 2 turns as the saga, then like you drop Brotherhood's End, and then eventually next turn or something, this flips into Road Captain. That's kind of the concept there. Overall, I think that Road Captain's going to do a thing regardless. So, okay, we do have some other burn packed in. Got a couple lightning strikes, as well as all 4 lightning helix. Since we're already Mardu colors, why not, huh? So something with this burn, of course, these can both target any target. Every now and then, you're going to target your Tangled Colony and be pretty happy about it, but you're probably going to need a good setup first. Other than that, these are just acting as our removal sources, of course, or just targeting the opponent's face totally works too. Over in the mana base, noteworthy things, of course, Crucible, Abandoned Mire, Seat of the Empire, all making the cut. We got the fast lands today. We got Courtyard, Cliffs, and the Vantage. And then Mirrex is another noteworthy thing. And then this Branch of Vitu-Ghazi. I've been wanting to try this out in a Warleader's Call deck, because every now and then you end up flooding out a little bit. And what's neat about this is it has Disguise for 3. So it can enter as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2 for 3 mana. Other than that, you're just playing it as a land. And then when you do play this as Disguise, so when it's turned face up, you can add 2 mana of any 1 color. So it kind of counts as mana fixing in a sense. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. I don't know. It's just like one of those things, one of those cards. Like, should this just be like a second Mirrex? Maybe, because like the Mirrex also, if you end up flooding out, this also generates creatures for you. The Phyrexian Mites enter. Warleader's Call does the thing then. Outside of that, I just really wanted to try out Branch again, and I feel like this could be an interesting deck for it. We'll see, we'll see. Some honorable mentions, guys. Just the Rat King kind of feels silly playing rats, but not playing with the Rat King. Then Lord Skitter's Butcher could be pretty cool too, so definitely something to consider. Honorable mention for a reason. Okay, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. Right into that first game, guys. Oh my goodness. All right, what am I expecting from the list? Oh, buddy. This should be janky. It should be. It should be janky. Maybe it's not janky. Oh, no black source in the opening hand. I like everything else about it, but unfortunately, this is going to be a mulligan. Oh no, the Branch getting in our way already? Oh, come on, Branch. I'm relying on you to do something today. No, we should mulligan for sure. The black sources are very important. No red source. Well, every now and then this is going to happen in a 3-color deck. Oh, crap. We can't go down to 5. We're going to keep this. There's a lot of red sources packed in. We'll ditch the Lightning Helix since it's a double. Yeah, this is scary. I think it got worse. I think the mulligan down to 6 made the hand worse. Oh dear. Oh dear. Demonic Ruckus from the opponent for the turn. Come on, mana. I don't know, maybe we should have gone down to 5. I don't know. That's tough, because if you go down to 5, like, oh, another Demonic Ruckus and a third Lightning Helix. Oh no, guys. There's a lot of red sources, all right? There's a lot of red sources. We should be fine. Actually, we can check real quick. I don't use this often, but let's see. We have 3 mountains packed in, so that's 5.77% of the list. Mirrex could help us for the turn. At the very least, get Warleader's Call down. Almost a 2% to see Mirrex. Blackcleave Cliffs. Almost an 8% there. The Crucible of Defiance, almost a 2% there. A mountain. All right, let's go. It's like I said, we had a lot packed in. A relatively decent percentage overall. Dude, these Demonic Ruckus is going to be terrifying. I'd love to establish the Warleader's Call, but right now it kind of feels like... Wait, we're still at 19. Oh, the opponent's been taking it slow, guys. Okay, sweet. I'll get Warleader's Call down. It lets the Road Captain block the squee well, or take a Lightning Strike away from our face. And yeah, Road Captain can no longer get picked up by Play with Fire and stuff like that too, so. Godric. Oh, buddy, that's scary business. So Demonic Ruckus brings the Godric into the air. I guess since they have 2 Ruckuses, they could drop one on the squee, too. Uh-oh, uh-oh. We're in danger. And the Lightning Helix no longer hits Godric. It'll be, what, a 4/4 on our turn, so... Oh, no, Monstrous Rage. This totally feels like a Monstrous Rage. Oh dear. Opponent, what is it? What is it? They're deciding. Oh, Witstalker Frenzy. All right. Well, that hits the 3/3 nicely. Going down to 9. Hey, Tangled Colony, but that can't block. Seat of the Empire might have a chance of hitting Godric. That's expensive for the turn. Probably just have Lightning Helix pop the squee. Play the Tangled Colony for the turn. Oh, buddy. What a mess of the first game, huh? So we'll keep the red and the white open, get the Tangled Colony down. And then just, yeah, keep the Lightning Helix for their turn, I guess. A Monstrous Rage could go on the stack, saving the squee. Go up to 12. We give them the turn. They get the draw on the Ruckus. I guess we should do this on our turn. I guess. Either way, I'm pretty sure we're dead. I think they're going to find the 12. Especially since they get the draw here. But hey, maybe they take the turn to spend 4 to get the squee back. Oh no, they don't have enough in the grave yet. Yeah, I think we do that while they're tapped out so they can't protect it with something like a Monstrous Rage. Because generally speaking, when you're playing against mono red, you just like the Monstrous Rage is just there. You know what I mean? And I know because I play mono red, like we always have Monstrous Rage available. It's kind of crazy, man. It seems like forced into our hand a lot of the time. Ancestral Anger style of build. Okay. They have... if they don't have permanents to bring the Godric into the air, the Godric doesn't have the ability. But they have 7. 8, 9. So just a Lightning Strike to the face would do it. Kamano brings the Godric into the air. And then Godric activates the ability. And that's game. They found the 12. Right on. Dang, dude. Well, it is what it is, huh? Oh. Oh, Codebreaker's Prowess I wasn't counting either. Yeah, so we actually went... They actually found 13 damage there for the turn. Oh my goodness. Well, GG. I mean, overall, it was a pretty slow start for Mono Red, actually giving us a chance to get some stuff down. All right, War Rats. Maybe we'll get some revenge against Mono Red, but let's wait till like the end of the video, right? let's try to showcase a bit more of the deck and also maybe have a good opening hand here too. Would be ideal, of course, right? Oh, there we go. Yes. Yes, this is how the deck is supposed to draw. Oh, buddy. Where do I want to start? Instead of the Reckoner Raid, I'm going to go... Nah, I'll get Reckoner Raid down. That's fine. That's fine. Getting it to flip sooner is better than nothing. Yo, this is a terrific curve. Broker's Hideout. Plains. Oh, Elas il-Kor. That's actually a little bit better than the colony for the turn, isn't it? Because once the Reckoner Raid flips into Road Captain next turn, we'll get more life gain there too. Establishing Warleader's Call will be sick. With 2 planes available, this could very well be spot removal. I'm hoping it's not going to be like an Elspeth Smite, but I think we swing into it anyways. Especially now that we saw the second Elas il-Kor here. Yeah. Gets through. Very nice, guys. Nothing from the opponent there. Another plains. Mono white mid-range could be devastating. That would be Sunfall style. Farewell style too for mono white. Grab a plains off the restoration. Tangled Colony. Lord Skitter. Might be a little better than the Tangled Colony right now, right? I think so. Do that before combat because a rat enters then. And we get the ability. We'll get rid of that Broker's Hideout. All right. Good stuff, man. Opponent's down to 8. They need that board wipe right on time. We'll see if they can find it. I guess it could be a depopulate style build. For sure. We technically don't know what we're up against. If it is depopulate, luckily the Elas il-Kor is still on this board, doing a thing for now. Without a second black source, we're not going to be able to reestablish. So seeing a swamp off the top actually would not be terrible. Going Mardu with cards like this, that like 2 mana card. Hey, GG opponent! Wow. They didn't have anything, huh? I guess we just got there before the sunfall came down at that point. You know what I mean? Anyways, I was gonna say the mana base is very, very greedy. So we'll see how much I end up complaining about the mana today. and then maybe talk more about the mana base and see like what we could possibly do. Overall, I think we should be able to play most of our cards most of the games. That's the hope, at least. That's how I set the mana base up. Should be fine. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Some mono black, maybe? I wouldn't mind trying it out. No double red when it comes time for the Brotherhood's end. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it, man. A lot of stuff we could draw into. As a matter of fact, another 1-drop off the top would be great. Would be terrific for the curve. Like if we see another 1-drop, we can drop like Reckoner Raid as well as the other 1-drop. You know what I mean? So like curve out nicely. I guess a 2-drop works too, but you monster opponent. Okay, we still don't have double red for the burn down the house, but I actually don't mind seeing that here. Mono black discard has been floating around, and it's a scary looking deck, man. It really is. Very much a Liliana style of deck too. Trespasser. This is likely mono black discard, but it could just be mono black mid-range. It could be. Right, there's our second red source. I don't want them to see this right away. They're probably going to peer into our hand anyway, so I suppose I should still keep the Crucible back and just let them see more in general. We have, they know that we have Seed of the Empire, but it does switch to nighttime. This would be a great pickup for the Seed of the Empire. If we end up discarding anything, it'll be the Swamp to make sure that... Ooh... Oh, crap. Okay, Swamp, I guess. Yeah. Now we don't have the discard on the Glutton's ability. The Glutton's ward cost really just awful here. Should we still take it out, discard the Crucible? Or do we just keep all the mana in hand and hope that we get a terrific board wipe on the burn? There's no guarantee that they won't just drop another Duress. Alright, call me crazy, man. I'm gonna keep it all. Let's just take the 4. We gained a good chunk of life already off the Reckoner raids. Linebreaker. Hi. I wonder if I keep Linebreaker in hand to have a discard. Because we could keep Seat. I want to keep the Seat to play the 5th mana to play the burn down the house. So if we discard again next turn to another ability, we should be able to discard the Linkbreaker. What did I call this? The Linebreaker? I don't even know. I'm going to swing. Points down to 14. All right. I'm keeping it all. I want to make sure that we have a free discard with that Linkbreaker to make sure we can keep the burn down the house in hand. We might get a pretty good full swing with the road captains and then just drop the burn down the house. And who knows, they might play like a Sheoldred for the turn or something. I will chump. We'll keep ourselves at 20 for now. They go draw on the clue. Unfortunately, Sheoldred not coming down for the turn. Yeah, hitting a Sheoldred with that burn on the house would have been really good. Just a whole bunch of big creatures cleaned up from the opponent. Still got 2 mana. It could be Bat, right? They might just be keeping removal open. If it's Bat, then that's... Duress number 2 takes the burn down the house. Oh no, I mean, I said it could happen, and it happened, and that's really bad. We do have 2 burn down the house in here, though. They go ahead and draw off the clue. Hostile Investigator kind of showing off a little bit. Pretty good stuff, man. All right, well, you can't block. You can block. You're going to be a good chump blocker, I suppose. We'll go ahead and swing with that Road Captain. You can't keep Seat because it's probably going to get discarded, so we're just going to play it for fun. Switches back to daytime, luckily. Trespasser's a little bit weaker here. Graveyard Trespasser number 2 comes down. Man, we put up a good fight overall, huh? If we could have landed that burn on the house, oh my goodness, Trespasser number 3. We are so dead in no time. I block with the Linkbreaker, take 4 less, taking 3. You get a Mercenary. Oh, land off the top. Ew. You know what we could do? 1, 2, 3. They have 13 on the board. 13. Mishra's Foundry, 15. Mishra's Foundry number 2, 17. Aw, man. I was going to say, we have a pretty sick full swing here. Not full swing, like a Mercenary power-up Road Captain, and then maybe get 6 through, but they do have 17 on the board, unfortunately. So we do have to keep at least 1 chump blocker back. In the meantime, let's go ahead, swing at that Tangled Colony as a 4-2, and just see what they do. And we have 1 chump blocker. If they remove it, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Oh, it also switches to night because we missed the play. Well, it doesn't matter if they remove it then. That's 16 on the board. Mishra's Foundry also cleans it up. We're going to block 4 of them. It's still going to be... Oh, they drop cut down on the colony instead of the road captain. And they don't power up the foundry. 1, 2. Oh. That's going to be 15. But we still have the block. So they missed lethal by not powering up Mishra's Foundry. I suppose at this point, I don't think they really care if they missed lethal, right? They have just an incredible setup. Even if we see burn down the house off the top or something. Mana. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, swing for 1, drop the opponent the GGs. Keep an eye out for this discard list, guys. We've been seeing this hostile investigator doing a lot in these lists. It's actually pretty sick, man. The last time I played with this investigator, I only played a 1 of in that build, and it's been proven itself every time the opponents have been playing it. For real. Cool stuff, opponent. Yeah, at that point, missing the lethal, it doesn't really matter too much. So if we saw like burn down the house off the top, wipe their board, they just power up that Mishra's Foundry. Easy peasy. But yeah, their cut down also could have hit the road captain there too, so... Oh! Season rankings. Well. Huh. That's some timing, huh? I mean, hey, let's crack some mid-video packs. Let's do it. That's funny, man. I don't know if that's ever happened on video. Honestly, it probably has. Oh, lots of lag. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, Splitter of Seconds. Laughing Jasper Flint. And then Kellen the Kid. Wow. Okay, cool. I got a Kellen build coming up here soon, hopefully. I still gotta fix up the mana base a little bit before playing it though. For sure. Alright. Now we're chilling at the bottom of gold. That's fine though. That's what a hand is supposed to look like, right? These hands have actually been pretty good. Except for that first one. That first one where we had to mulligan. Let's actually get that swing since we're on turn 1. Just a little bit of extra damage poking through. Hopeless Nightmare. Lightning Strike? I think I value the creatures over generic burn for now. How do you guys feel about that? Could keep Lightning Helix open if we play Seed of the Empire. Let's get that swing. No, same thing, man. I'm going to value the creatures over the burn for now, and maybe like discard the burn again if they have more discard here. Okay, A Skullcap Snail. Oh, no. Oh, no, another one, guys. We exile a card from our hand. Oh, another Linkbreaker that I'm pretty sure I keep calling it Linebreaker, which is funny. All right. So, Lord Skitter. Good trades for us. So we full swing. They let it go through. Trying to get as much on the board as possible if they plan on discarding our hand. No, opponent, come back. I would have loved to play that one out. Although these discard decks are super scary, I guess they figured we established too much. But if we like look at this board state, oh, maybe they missed their third mana. Oh, that's a little upsetting. Because I feel like we had, overall, that was pretty solid. Getting to play things. That's all it takes for me to call it solid. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you go up against decks and it's just like a consistent punish throughout the entire match. Like sometimes it depends on the deck you're playing, but sometimes that's how Golgari mid-range feels when you're playing against that, right? And or High Noon Control has been wild. No white source. This is actually one of those hands that is keepable though. Even though you don't see all three color sources, this is like still fine. We have plays for like 3 turns. Start with Wreck and a Raid. Start poking that through and get that Road Captain flipped as soon as possible. Frontliner, nice. Tangled Colony was a pretty good draw. I'll take it. Warden. And Baldarian Epicure. They go for the swing. Keeping the mountain open. Oh, Gleeful Demolition. That makes much more sense here. Tap the 3, have a blocker. Goes back down to 2-3, luckily. They don't even accept this trade, though. Oh, there we go. Inspiring Vantage, right on time. Hit the Warden, get the swing with the Spearguard and the Colony, right? Totally. Yeah. Let's get the Spearguard down. Alright, not bad. Any land off the top wouldn't be terrible. Eventually the board wipe is going to be pretty good. Warleader's Call. They pass it back. Our own Warleader's Call. Heck yeah, dude. Oh, buddy. We swing. We're at 24. I don't think we die next turn at all. We'd go for the double block on the Road Captain as well. This isn't bad. We're getting a lot off their board. A lot of damage going through. Another one from the Warleader's Call here, too, because we get a rat. This is sick, dude. Oh, man. Because this Tangled Colony, what does Boros have that can clean up Colony without giving us rats? I don't know, honestly. I really don't. I think the Colony's just going to continuously get through for now. Warden of the Inner Sky, number 2 is a 2-3, so it blocks our 2-2 rat really nicely. Land isn't terrible to see. Let's go ahead and swing with Colony and see what the opponent plans on. Resolute Reinforcements. Anyone's game still, guys. Anyone's game. Because they're going really, really nice and wide here. They could take the 4 down to 5 and just plan on having a little bit more. They go for the chump block. Let's get a creature down. Down to 8. Untapped source off the top would be huge. Drop Devils, that's an extra 3 to the face, and then a full swing is wild for us. We're still at 21. They can bring back the frontliner from the grave. 2 cards in hand. Emodane's Recruiter. A 1-drop into Emodane's Recruiter would be really good. Bring back Frontliner. Down to 20. Like, yeah, Emodane's Recruiter right here would be terrifying. It is. It is an Emodane's Recruiter. Oh, buddy, I'm on the edge of my seat. They still got a card in hand that they're looking at, but maybe it's just a land. They go for the full swing. They got 12 if we block the Recruiter. 13 if we block the Recruiter, which we do. We get a Mercenary on the board, down to 6, and then we full swing next turn. We got 8 on the board. They go down to 7 because of the call. Cool stuff, man. Very cool stuff. GG opponent. Wow. The deck kind of does a thing here and there, doesn't it? That's funny. That's what you want out of jank, you know? That's what you want to see. Because even if we lost that one, we would still be saying at the end there, like, wow, we really did the thing. And then, like, Boros ran away with it. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's sick stuff. Awesome that we actually got that victory there against another Warleader's call list. All right, dude. Yeah. Yeah, let's do this. I love seeing all the mana when we need to see it, which should be more often than not. Like, you know, we have so much mana fixing in general in the deck, or in standard right now, you know? Like, we could consider more dual lands, but overall, we should be fine. Lightning Strike open, let's swing at the opponent's face. Get that Swarm Piper down next turn. Maybe this one of can do a thing today. Spirited Companion. I'm going to hit the opponent's face while we have the open mana. Let's do it. I don't know what we're up against entirely, but I feel like I should probably be scared. Swarm Piper before the swing, because it very much affects the swing. They probably let this go right through now. They sure do. Down to 15. Mirrex is going to have to be our second red source for the burn down the house, in case we don't see one. Hopeless Nightmare. Crap. Swamp, I suppose. A lot of discard decks today. Oh. I don't know. Do we value the Mirrex? One second, opponent. I am pondering. Oh, that's a really tough decision, guys. I'm going to value the Mirrex, unfortunately, and I hope that's an okay decision. That's tough. That's really tough business, man. We'll get the Mirrex down for the turn. We got the second red source now, too. Let's go ahead, get that swing, see what they do. They're going to take the 3. We'll get the Mirrex down. I guess there's a chance that we end up discarding this Blackcleave Cliffs. There is a chance for sure. Flesh Gorger. Oh, buddy, we're in trouble. They go for the swing. Why not at this point? So using that Lightning Strike earlier might not have been too great here. The Flesh Gorger life gain is just going to be way too much. Like, our swing is unavailable, because if we swing, we get 3 through, but we lose a creature. No, we don't get 3 through. What am I saying? We get 2 through. We lose the Swarm Piper. Because the Swarm Piper reads, target attacking rat gains death touch. We could try that. Maybe they overlook it. Okay. I'll swing with the Linkbreaker, not the Line Breaker, what I've been calling it. So the 1 can get through because we have the mana available to give it death touch. The opponent was double checking there. We do get that through, and instead of discarding the Spearguard to something, we're going to play the Spearguard instead of keeping the Mirrex open. Yeah, Spearguard, we didn't have the swing on that because that would have been a great block for them, and it's not a rat in and of itself, but it does generate a rat. So the opponent's 4th mana is a Mirrex. And that Flesh Gorger. That's scary, scary stuff. But even if we kept the Lightning Strike earlier, the opponent would be at 14 right now. We'll take the 3. No, we won't. No, we won't. Right, we double block while we can. If they drop spot removal, we get completely just obliterated. But they're giving us a chance to take this out. What are the odds of spot removal? Pretty high, right? At this point, it's all risky. I'm going to risk it. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. I think the opponent could easily... Oh, Wandering Emperor plus onto the Flesh Gorger. They're going to gain 4, kill both of our cards here. We do get a lot of tokens back, though, which is pretty sick, which means we'll be able to take out the Wandering Emperor, but that extra life gain, that is a lot. 1, 2, so full swing at the Wandering Emperor takes care of it. They might take a trade here, finally. They do. They decide that the poison on the Mirrex token is the most scary thing, especially since they're gaining so much life off the Flesh Gorger. 1, 2, 3. So we won't have enough for Mirrex as well, but getting the Tangled Colony down is pretty good. We're in trouble, though. We're in a lot of trouble. Definitely, it could be my fault using that Lightning Strike so early on, but even if we popped the Flesh Gorger, they could have, like, played Flesh Gorger number 2 or something crazy, and it really might just come down to the opponent having one really solid lifelink creature. We have no blocks. Opponent goes back up to 19. They didn't swing with Restless Fortress, which probably means they have more. Maybe another Wandering Emperor. Exile the Colony, that could be scary. Warleader's Call off the top could pull us right back into this, guys. It really could. The early discard too, losing that burn down the house. What's that now? What is that? Getaway Glimmer. Flesh Gorger's a 7/5. Another Tangled Colony off the top. So they did spree cost here. Destroy target creature if no other creature has greater power. Oh, and then they did the top spree first, though. Exile target non-token creature. Oh. Cool. Very cool stuff, opponent. So this is a prototype build, but what the heck is the Nightmare doing in here? Maybe they have more things that... maybe they have more things that bounce enchantments and stuff, too. Yeah, dude, that Flesh Gorger. Oh, man. I don't know where we begin to get around that, especially now that it's a 7/5 too. Like, I guess a burn down the house. But, see, if we discarded the Mirrex instead of the burn down the house, we'd actually be sitting on 4 mana. And then at that point, if we still had cards in hand, we don't know when another discard effect would have actually hit the opponent's board too. So, yeah. Looks like a neat Orzhov list, though. Oh, Tithing Blade? Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Okay, well, I will sacrifice the Linkbreaker. The Mercenary can still block, but we didn't have blocks for the Menacing Flesh Gorger anyways. They dropped the Go for the Throat on the only thing that could block, but yeah, we didn't have the block on the Menace regardless. Oh, Seat of the Empire. Yeah, that could have been good. That could have been good. That would have been a way to get around it when it was a 4/4 after the Wandering Emperor play. All right, good game opponent, man. That deck, that's just one of those things, you know? Here's how we'll die. We'll go out with the Flesh Gorger's ward cost. Oh, we can't pay what we don't have, though. So it just fizzles out. Good game, opponent. Got the deck win rate down to a 50%. That's about right. Honestly, it's probably going to be a little less than a 50% the more we end up playing with it, too. So, I had fun that game. Heck yeah, I did. I generally have fun when we get nice, difficult puzzles to think through. And that one easily could have been my fault. If we had a chance to take out that Flesh Gorger with the Lightning Strike early on, yeah, I feel like there could have been a small chance through. We were dealing a good chunk of damage overall, too. So. Wow, look at all those. Wow. That's our 4th Kellen the Kid. That's our 4th Obeka, Splitter of Seconds. That's our 4th Eartha. How come I don't know what some of these do? I feel like there were so many cards from the new set, and that's probably the big score's fault, honestly. That's our 3rd Laughing Jasper. We got to build around some of these legends, guys, for sure. All right, here's the deck list again. Let me know in the comments. Did you enjoy it? I enjoyed it. The mana base. We got to talk about that. Oh, wait, hold on. While you're down there in the comments, make sure you check out that description down there as well. Or wherever the comments end up being nowadays. I don't know if we can still say down there because I know that when I watch on my desktop now, like the comments are over on the side. Let me know. Did the comments rearrange for you too? Because I actually haven't talked to anybody about this. I don't know if it's something I did or anyway, like a setting, you know what I mean? Regardless, that has nothing to do with what I was about to say. In the description, guys, we have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too. If you're interested in supporting the channel that way, that Patreon really does go the extra mile for me. So, you know, I don't get to say it enough either. And like, thank you so much to all my patrons, for real. One of the main benefits of joining up that Patreon is getting those guaranteed suggestions, or close to guarantee, right? I guess if one day we get too many, then I guess, well, you know. Anyways, enough rambling, dude. What about the War Rats? Warleader's Call. It's going to be good. It's going to be good regardless, man. You really like to see this on 3. Multiples isn't bad at all, right? So as long as you get the mana for it. The mana base being at 23 land felt right. I don't think I'd go down to 22 by any means, and 24 would also be fine too if you're kind of concerned about the 23. I could easily see the 24. We didn't get to see the branch do anything except hold us up in that first game, and we had to drop them all again, so that kind of sucked. If you look closely here, it's very much a Rakdos build with a splash of white for the Lightning Helix, the Warleader's Call, and we're also splashing white for the Elas il-Kor. Elas il-Kor happens to be a pretty powerful creature, so when it's on the board pairing with all these other creatures that, like, when they die, we get additional creatures. Like, that's a lot of life gain, and that extra life gain goes the extra mile just for you to establish more on the board, and the deck is very much like a little bit of a combo build, so just having more turns to get more things established is pretty darn good, or just having more turns to find a board wipe while your opponent is thinking they're in the clear, and you have like 5 creatures and they have like 7 creatures. They're like, haha, I'm just going to keep spamming creatures out because there's no way this deck runs a board wipe. But indeed, this Mardu list does run a board wipe. Would have loved to see Brotherhood Zen do a little bit more today too, but there's a reason we got 3 of them in here. I do think it's going to do a lot in general. Guys, don't forget, this is very much a janky list, so probably put it on the do not craft list, even though we did have a lot of fun with it today. It's just not going to be able to hold up in a lot of, against a lot of builds in ranked, man. It's going to have a hard time, but, you know, it's fun. So if you already have a lot of the cards anyways, or you don't have to craft a single thing for it, then it would totally be worth building and just having fun with it, if it looked fun to you, right? You know, you might be a control player, so this might just look like a nightmare. That's very possible, I suppose, right? So, anything else about the list? Yeah, we could probably successfully just run better spot removal instead of the lightning strikes. We keep the burn and the lightning helix. We could probably drop Lightning Strike for like Go for the Throw or Bitter Triumph or your spot removal of choice. Remember, if you are changing that out though, you are changing the like the percentage of the colors in here. And actually at that point, you'd be leaning into the swamps. And if you're leaning swamp, you guys can see over here, we have an even split, and for a good reason. Even though the deck is leaning red, the early game, we have 2 instances of all 4 of 1-drop cards that require swamps. So we still got an even split over here, even though we are leaning red. And leaning red is probably still where we want it anyways, especially with the double red in the Brotherhood's End and the double red in the Burn Down the House too. You guys saw that that almost held us up. Brings me back to the branch as well. If we actually got to use this as the disguise, I do think that that mana ability. So you cast this face down for 3. It's a 2/2 creature with ward 2. The disguise cost is 3. I do think you would actually end up using this as mana fixing every now and then. Is it worth it in the mana base? Probably not. I'm not going to change it though. Overall, the deck performed enough for me to say I'm not going to change anything. But like I said, you know, put it on the do not craft list is still going to be very janky overall. Yeah. Okay, guys. Other than that, yeah, again, Lightning Strike could just be better removal in general, whatever you want at that point. Hold up. No, it would have helped us in that last one, a Braid. A Braid deals 3 damage to target creature, so you can still target your colony if you really need to, but it also has that destroy target artifact ability as well. Definitely something to consider. That last game, taking out that Flesh Gorger with like a destroy target artifact or the Abrade, that would have been really good. And you know what we wouldn't have been tempted by early on? Using our 2 mana to hit the opponent's face with the Lightning Strike then. Definitely something to consider. Wow. Yeah, that would have been huge. But how often do we actually see Flesh Gorger? I guess we see it a good amount of time. Not a whole lot, but we still see it. And then also, there's other artifact builds too. Yeah. Definitely consider the Abrade over the Lightning Strike. But again, the deck performed well enough for what it is for me to say I'm personally not going to change anything, at least right now. Just like more testing required in general. Okay, guys, enough rambling, huh? Hey, thanks again for being here. I'm thinking about my little ramble at the beginning here with the Patreon and then the comments. Like, where are the comments nowadays? Like, what on earth? Anyways, hey, I will see you in the next video.